Hello and welcome to Creating with Shannon at Pick and Boots. Today is Thursday and it's approximately 1:45 on a Thursday afternoon. I'm here and we're going to finish up our decoupage tags that we started last week. I really had hoped that I would get to them a little sooner than that, but with some things with the store and then with Hurricane Idalia coming through, fast forward, here we are today. So let me share my screen with you really quick. So last week we did these. And actually let me zoom in a little bit just because I want you to be able to see a little bit better. There we go. Move these over here. So we did one. Well, I told you that we were going to do one with classic crackle, one with fine line crackle, and then one with a new product I just got in a little while ago called transparent crackle. And they all do different things. Pentart has a lot of different crackles, so we just tackled 3 of them here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video. I pre-taped this right after the work that I did on last Thursday after it dried, and because you put the crackles on and they need to dry overnight. You can force them. Hey Barbara, I'm glad you caught me. So we did these. They were the Halloween papers that we had. Oh, where's my camera? How come it's out of the... Hold on. It's way over here. There we go. So we did these. And the last time I left you, we put the papers on. And then I put the first layer of the crackle on. Now, all the crackles that I'm dealing with today, they're all the 2 parts. So there's 2 parts to these. Oops, let me go this way. And so you have to put one down and then it has to dry. And then you can put the second part on. So that's what I did right here. So I'm going to talk while I show this video. So the first one, oh, I wish I can mute that. Hope there's no talking. Anyway, so the first one I'm doing here, this is a classic crackle. And that's what I put on this one. So you just put it on and give a nice coat. Simple. The next one I did, this is the fine line. So again, just want to use a clean, dry brush. And then I just try to put it on as evenly as possible because you definitely, oh, look, see how beautiful that goes on? Now I love the fine line because it makes, it more or less gives you a look of where you're going to have porcelain look. So it's really shiny. So that one's nice. That one's a little thicker. And then the last one is transparent. Now this one's a little bit thicker and it looks more like glue, but still clean, dry brush. And I'm putting it on the same way. See how it's... Now I brushed this one on. You can also take your palette knife, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So I just brushed this on, and now this is what happened, and then I let them dry. So now let me show you what they look like now. All right. So this is the crackle, the classic crackle. See little classic crackles? Let me get it. I'm trying to get the light to beam off it. See that? That's the classic. Now they don't really pop, but they will when I put the antique paste in. Now this is the one that I like. I love the fine line. See how it's so shiny? And see the little fine lines there? It's called fine line because they're really fine and they look more like, there we go. They look more like porcelain when we get it all finished. And then this is a transparent crackle. Now this one, you can kind of tell that I put on with a brush because you can see the brush strokes. And it looks a lot like the fine line, but it's not quite. And I'm going to show you what the difference is in just a minute. Real quick though, if you notice on this guy here, see that little right here? What I did was, with the fine line, if you aren't happy with the cracks that you got, I just used my heat gun. Well, I put the heat gun a little too close, and that is what happens. It bubbled up, and before I knew it, it was burning. Well, bubbled up. So, but it went back down, it dried, so it's still fine. It just adds a little bit of spookiness. Okay, so these are dry. They've been done for a few days. Now what we're going to do is we are going to have some fun with this. So for the classic crackle, I thought it'd be cool. We're going to use the antique paste. And when you ever come into the store, or if you go to a store that has the Pentart and you see the little cracks here, antique paste, that means that's supposed to go into the cracks. So that's the antique paste. Because there is another one that's called wax paste. And it doesn't have these crackles here, and that's for decorative finishes. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to use my finger. You can use a brush or whatever, but I like to use my fingers. Kind of like to really push it into the cracks here. Look at that. See that? Can you see the gold in there? But yeah, exact color that I'm using is I'm using gold. There's different shades of gold. There's antique gold and gold. But see how pretty that is? I'm just going to put it all around here and get it into all the cracks. And then I'm going to take my little rag that I have right here. I'm just going to wipe it back. See, there's a little bit of extra on there. So I'm just going to take, and I'm just going to take my little lint-free rag, and now look at it. Look how pretty that is. So it just kind of brings out the detail of those crackles. This is the classic crackle. Now we're not quite finished yet. I want to put something else on top that'll be the finishing touch to this. We're going to put that aside for right now. Put it right here. So see how pretty that one is? Yay! Now the next one, this is the fine line. This is kind of more of a creepy one. So what I'm going to use for this one is I'm going to use the Umbra. There's a different thing that's called Umber, and I get confused sometimes. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to dip it in, and this I'm going to simply put into the fine lines. Now you can see how it gets darker with those lines. See that? Isn't that cool? So it gives it a nice creepy effect. And I imagine it's going to go around where I burnt my fine line, but that'll be okay. Now, look at those. Now I want to be careful here because I don't want, when I wipe this back, I don't want to take too much off. So I'm going to go ahead and just rub lightly. And then look at that. See, it stays in those cracks. Isn't that beautiful? And if for some reason I think that maybe I took too much off, like in this little area, it's so easy. Just go back and put it in. And then just take your cloth and wipe it back. But again, we're not done with this one either. So there's two examples real quick. So this is the classic crackle, and I use the gold antique paste. And this is the fine line, and I use the Umbra. Now for the transparent crackle, I'm going to be using the white. I love the white. It looks really good, especially with the Christmas stuff. But this one's not really Christmas, but it still looks cool. Now, I did brush on this transparent crackle, and it'll show here in just a second. But you'll see that it's kind of linear. You can tell that it was definitely brushed on. There's no like haphazardness. It's just there. It's a great product, but I'm going to show you something else you can do with it. So once I get in the cracks, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it back. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So transparent means exactly what it is. It's clear, and it's a little bit thicker than the fine line or the classic, so it's a little bit raised. But look how beautiful that is. I'm going to take a little bit more off because I want to be able to see the design in the back. This creepy tree and the pumpkins. But there we go. So isn't that gorgeous? So there are three of the examples really quick. Now, I'm just going to close these up, and then I want to show you a little trick in just a second. What you need to do, though, is I need to go ahead and I want to seal these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the clear varnish in gloss. I like the gloss because it just, some of these just need to be shiny. And plus, when you're using the fine line crackle, you need to use a solvent-based sealer. You can't use a water-based because a water-based will gum up on you and you'll have a huge mess on your hands. So because I need to do solvent for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just seal all of them with the solvent-based clear varnish. So I'm just simply going to brush it on. What this is going to do is going to make it shiny, and it's going to make my cracks and the antique paste pop. And that'll just take a little while to dry. Do the fine line. See how it just brings it to life, that shine of the gloss varnish. Ooh. And what I'll do is I'll take pictures and I'll post them so you can see up close. And then here's the, oh, that is gorgeous. The transparent. I love that with the white antique paste. Wow. And you can still see the pumpkins and the scary stuff in there. All right. So, what do you think about those? Aren't those awesome? Now, you can do this on a large scale or a small scale. I've done the classic Crackle and the fine line on big pieces of furniture. I haven't done the transparent Crackle yet, but I will. I just want to show you this real quick. So when I went up to see Teresa in Atlanta in, I think it was July, she was teaching us how to use the transparent Crackle. Now this is just a piece of, oh, they're my cheat sheets, my notes. I did so many sample boards, I wanted to remember exactly what we did because we learned a lot. So this is just putting the transparent Crackle on with a palette knife. So I just put it on, scraped it on, and it dried. It's kind of thick, nice. Now here, though, we mixed it with some mica powder. I think it was brass. So I have two different patterns here. I have this one. This is where I took it and went up like this. And then this one, I just brushed it on. We're going to go ahead and have some fun with that real quick. I'm going to show you how it's done. So let me scooch my little Halloween tags back. And then I just have this little board right here. Hey, Gwen, thank you so much. I'm going to put you up on the screen. There's so much you can do with all the Pentart. It's mind-boggling. You could work with Pentart projects and the decoupage mediums and all that stuff, and you can create just so many different things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my transparent cracking. Oh, you know what? I can't. It's not going to crack right now because I actually have to put it over component one. But I just want to. I'm going to take a little teeny piece, and I'm going to show you how easy it mixes with the micro powder. So I don't want to waste too much. So I'm just going to use this much since I'm not going to be putting it on component one, just because it takes a little while for component one to dry. I do have it sitting here, but I just want, you'll get the idea. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I have this beautiful mica powder. This color is super red. Kind of looks almost like a reddish pink. And all you do is you just simply take, I always leave these parts on just so I don't make a mess and have too much coming out. I'm just going to take a very little, and I'm going to mix it in. And this is all you do to change the color of your transparent cracking gel. So it takes it from clear or transparent to colored. So like this would be really pretty if you're doing it over some decoupage paper that had a really cool design, but you still wanted to have, thicker clear glass crackle look. But if you want to do on some edges, hint, I just did a video, it's coming out next week, with it tinted, then you just simply take your step 2 and add a little mica, because look at the beautiful color. Mica comes in so many different colors, mica powders. I just got some neons from Pentart. They have every color, like the metal colors, like brass, gold, silver, and then of course they have all the regular colors, red, blue, green, yellow, and then they have the neons, and I think there's even a chameleon. I don't know, maybe not, but there's just so much. And if you're local, I have a bunch of them in the store. If you are online, I do have them in the store. If I don't have them on my website yet, they're coming. You can always email me and I'll be happy to get them to you. But that's what it can create. It's just amazing. So on this technique, I just went like this with my palette knife. And so you can see it's still cracked, but it has a little bit more of a texture to it, which I thought was really cool. And this right here, I just took it and I just made it smooth across. But of course, don't forget, you do need to do that over component 1 because it is a 2-part crackle. Okay, now let me get these back up. Let me put this aside. I want to show you again up close each of the tags. Whew, that varnish stinks just a little bit. It's solvent based, so you can really, really smell it. I'm going to stick them on this black shelf thing so I can lift it and I can put all 3 of them together. And you can see up close. So the first one over here was the classic Crackle, and it has the gold antique paste. This is the fine line with some of the dark. Gives it a real creepy look. And this was a transparent gel. I didn't use mica powder. I just used it clear, and then I put the white antique paste in there. So see the different looks you can get from these? They're gorgeous. So these are just some tags. Christmas papers are out. You can use them for any holiday, but they're just so fun to make tags, especially at Christmas time. Now, speaking of that, I have a class coming up. It's going to be online and in the shop. So I've made this. Look at this ornament. Isn't he super cute? Now, let me just talk about this just for 1 second. I'm going to be putting this on the website, and I'm going to be having people be able to sign up here at the store to take this. So what it is, it's one of the ornament kits. I think it's AB Studios. And then it's 2 parts. This has the velvet on it. So look at that red velvet. If you could feel it, it's really super soft. See that? That's velvet. But look, this is with fine line crackle, and then the white as opposed to the dark. See how different it looks? Oh, thanks, Gwen. So this will be a class, and you'll get everything you need shipped to your door, or if you come inside into the studio here at the shop, you're going to get everything here. So you'll get the papers, the glue, the fine line, the white antique paste. You'll get everything. So keep that in mind. I'll probably post it to Facebook too, just so, and YouTube, so that way you can, if you're interested, you can definitely take the class. I have a whole bunch of other classes coming, all with all the Pentart and all the fun things. And I do now carry the Andy Sloan paints. And for those of you that are an Andy Sloan follower or an Iron Orchid Designs person, you know that they have collaborated and they have come up with a paint inlay. I have seen the paint inlay. It is amazing. It's unique. I'm going to be doing an Andy Sloan workshop with the new paint inlay too. So you'll learn how to use the paint, and you'll be able to learn how to use the paint inlay, but not just any paint inlay, the collaboration of the Andy Sloan and IOD. So that's coming too, but that won't be for, I think, till October, because I think that's when they come out. I think. There's so many dates. I've got to order by this date and can't show it to this date. And I've got to check my calendar. But one last thing is on Tuesday, September 5th, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's 12 noon here, Eastern time. They're going to introduce all the new holiday release for Iron Orchid Designs. They're going to be on YouTube, a whole entire playlist of, so many of us have created videos, so they're going to be ready to go. You can see how to use all the new stuff. And they're also going to show you all the stuff, what they are. I think it's 3 molds, 4 stamps, and 3 transfers, I believe. Something like that. But there's a lot of goodness coming. So that'll be Tuesday, September 5th. And of course, I'm going to do a live on the too. I'm going to show you all the products. So I'll have that going too. So lots to look forward to. But if you go to, I don't think I have my website on here, but it's PB Vintage, for Pick and Boots Vintage.com, and you'll be able to sign up for this cute little ornament. Again, you don't have to come here to take it. You can order a kit and you can follow the video along. I've already created the video step by step with directions, so you can watch at your convenience. You can reverse or whatever. And the first night we play it, I'll be in the comments, so I'll be able to walk you through if you have any questions. But anytime after that, you can just email me, text or DM. Email, DM, or call the shop, and I'll be happy to help you with any questions. So lots more of that coming. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I know I spewed off a lot there, but these are just, look how beautiful they are. All different techniques. And I do still have a couple of the creepy sets of paper left. They're by ITD. They're the big sets. They're 8.5 by 11. I think it comes with like 11 sheets. And it's a good price because it's a bundle. Bundles are always better. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. And if you're catching this on a replay, either on my Facebook or on YouTube, you can always reach out in the comments. And